You majored in psychology
Yes.
in college.
Yes, psychology with 2 minors, women and gender studies, and sociology.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What are like the stereotypes of most psych majors?
That were know-it-alls.
Are
And
you?
we like to read people's minds
Do you think you
24/7.
are?
I definitely am.
Yeah.
I feel like I know everything.
Okay, well, read my mind. Let's see. What do you think I'm thinking right now? I've met real mind readers.
Have
mind
you?
We've had them on the show. Yeah, America's greatest mind reader, actually.
Oh, wow.
Shout out Joe Diamond. He's listening somewhere maybe. Yeah. No. What do you? Is that hard for you to turn off then? Because you're like, you studied this for 4 years.
Yeah.
When you're like in relationships with coworkers or friendships or family members, whatever, is that hard to like shut off and be like, I need to just be in this moment and not like psychoanalyze somebody?
Yeah, I think it is hard because every time I'm talking to someone, I'm always like, why did you do that? Or why? I need to know the reason why. So I think it helps though. Like, I feel like it helps me a lot. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm always like, when I'm talking to coworkers, family, especially my friends, like when they're telling me their problems, I'm always like, well, why? Like, ask yourself why, like put yourself in those shoes. And I feel like a lot of my friends hate that because I'm not like, you are so right.
Yeah, people do hate that. I will say, like, that's one thing I've had to get better at as a friend, because I'm similarly to you. I'm always like, I won't, if you tell me a problem is going on, I'm going to genuinely listen to the situation and I'm going to ask actual questions. I'm not just going to go, yeah, fuck them. Man, yeah, fuck her, dude. She's so wrong. I'm going to ask you questions. You might be right in the end. We might get to that, but I'm not just going to sit there and be like, yeah, gang, like, let's do it. Like, you're total slay. Everything you said is slay.
Yeah.
We're good. I'm going to ask some tougher questions. People don't really like that sometimes. So you got to ask sometimes if people want advice or if they just need somebody to vent to.
Yeah.
I've found is like a skill I've had to learn. But okay, so you're always reading people. Do you ever like read people incorrectly then because of that?
I don't think so. I'm highly confident in myself. I feel like I do a
okay.
great job. The problem is I hate being readed.
Read it. Yeah.
Well,
that was crazy.
yeah.
That was crazy right there.
I feel like when my fiance always like asks me why, like, oh, he's not like, fuck you, like blah blah blah, I get mad at him
Yeah.
because I'm like, you should be just on my side. Like, don't ask me why.
Yeah. See? Exactly. Why do you think you want to know the why all the time? Why?
I don't know. It's like,
That's bullshit, bro.
I don't know.
You can't be coming at people asking them why, and you can't tell me why you want to know the why.
I don't know. I think it's because I want to get more tea.
You want more tea?
I want more
Okay,
tea, maybe.
yeah. That's maybe
Or
that.
maybe
that'll
I
make
just
you
want to know, why do you think like that? Like, how are you as a person? I think that's why I'm always asking why. Like,
Yeah.
if it's a situation about like my boyfriend, I'm like, okay, well, what did they do? Like, what did you do to them to make them do that? And I think a lot of my
Whoa.
friends don't like that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's just good. It sounds like you're just curious. You
am.
want context, or in your case, tea, as you would
Yes.
word it. Yeah. What's something like, there's a joke online whenever like people that are going to school to be a therapist or going to school for psychology, whenever they're sad or down, people are like, bro, how are you depressed? Look at your notes. So like, what's something that you've had to learn or unlearn in like, or that maybe clicked for you when you were studying, that you were like, oh, I never thought. Did you ever like have an epiphany moment that maybe a professor said something or you were doing something in a textbook and you're like, yeah, that makes sense?
I think it was in my sociology class. So for sociology and psychology, the only reason why I minored in soc was because they're the same thing. It's just not, psych is more the mind and sociology is more your environment.
Yeah.
And I think it was we were reading this one story about this girl, and like basically the whole story just rooted back to her environment. And like my professor was just like a lot of people get shaped by their environment. And I guess I never thought about that. Like, I never thought about where people grew up. Like,
Yeah.
they might see something differently than me, and like why people might have like so many different opinions about everything. Like,
Yeah.
people are always like, well, I grew up this way, so that's how I think. And I just always think like back to that professor, like him just saying like, oh, environment, your family especially shapes you. And it's like, it's sad, and like it's like very interesting to see how like if someone from like, not like the difference between like a wealthy and poor family, like it's so different to see like someone like that didn't grow up with money, like how they think compared to someone that grew up with a bunch of money.
Definitely. Yeah. And their relationship with money specifically, or their relationship with their peers,
Yes.
or with, like Definitely, that could be super almost jarring, and when you become like sort of a young adult into adulthood, like teenager to young adulthood, is like you sort of those things kind of become more present because when you're like in grade school, you don't know the difference between the rich kids and like the poor kids, other than maybe sometimes. And I was one of the poor kids. It's like maybe we smell a little worse sometimes. I don't know. Like I just it is what it is. But it's like you can't tell the difference,
Oh,
right? Like you
no.
guys are all just kids playing.
Yep.
You're just playing on the playground. You're playing football in recess. You're playing tag, whatever. It's like you get into that like high school realm, and like some kids pull up with like a brand new Jeep, and you're like, oh. Like they go out every day, and then your parents are like, no, you want to go to B-dubs, you want to go get McDonald's on the weekend, you got to work, dude.
Yep.
And so you start to get faced with that, and then I don't know, it bleeds into other things too. But yeah, that's interesting. So sort of you getting that and like learning about other people's environments almost gave you a way. It sounds like a curiosity into like almost like being more empathetic.
Yes, it definitely did. I feel like when I'm talking to different people, and that's why one reason why I like majored in psych is because there are some interesting people in this world, and I feel like not enough people realize that, and like not enough people there's just so many cliques in this world. Like people stick to who they stick to, and like who they are as a person or who they want to be, they stick with that person.
Yeah.
So I think that's like, especially in high school, I was a very talkative person. My parents always got emails, and Marian's always talking in class. And I think that's really sparked me, because anytime a teacher moved me to a new student, even if it's like the weird, like emo kid, I talked to them. Didn't care. Like if you were going to talk back to me, I'll talk to you. And I think that's what really intrigued me about psych, because it's just, there's so many different people in this world.
Yeah.
And like environment, family, friends, like who you're around constantly really shapes you.
What's a clique that intrigues you? What's like a clique you think is maybe misunderstood by the general population? Like a group of people. Like I know for a fact we interviewed a furry a long time. It's one of my favorite podcasts I've ever done, actually. And furries, I think, are generally it's an interesting and weird thing, and they will admit that it's a totally weird phenomenon. But these people, they love this thing. They have a lot of fun. It's really positive. I would say 99% of it. And then people focus on like the kind of the weird stuff about it. They 100% of the time, which is weird. And so I would say like they're in my eyes a misunderstood clique. What's a clique that maybe you've seen that's like?
I would definitely say the same thing. Like I feel like the weirder kids, or like what people describe them as, like if you talk to them, they're probably the nicest people, like genuine people you will ever probably meet. And it's like just seeing their look, like it's like being a furry. Like being a furry, that's definitely a weird thing.
Oh yeah.
But it's like that's what you enjoy so much. Like that's like why do you enjoy? Like that's so unique and
I
like
just can't
different.
and I can't stand people that just pretend that like they're not weird.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know anybody that's not weird. I've never met somebody that's not fucking weird, dude. Like I'm weird as shit. I sit across from strangers every week on this show, and I invite them into a room with a bunch of like thousands of dollars worth of Legos. I'm a grown man. Like what am I doing? Like someone could say that's weird. And I have other friends that'll, I don't know. I just think like maybe in learning stuff about this, or people taking the time to, if you have enough empathy within you, like you can see that like we're all a little weird.
Yes.
Like you can be just a little less judgmental. I'm never going to sit here and tell you that being a furry is not weird. It's weird, man. It's also weird to spend an ungodly amount of money on Legos, which I do, which is weird. So it's like everything is weird. You're a business owner. To a lot of people, that's weird, man. They don't, and maybe not weird in like they're not having it with like this negative connotation, but it's different. They're not used to it. They have no idea how that works. They don't know how to wear that hat. And so it might be weird to somebody else.
Hey, thanks for watching there, guy. Click right over here if you want to see that episode in its entirety. Or you can click over here and subscribe to the channel. See all the other fun shit we do here. It's really up to you, guy.